driving.
What's up, everyone? Welcome into Twin Cities Sports Talk. It's great to have everyone here watching. We got a fun episode. Kyler Murray signs with the Vikings today. Joe Ryan's coming back to pitch for Team USA. And we have to talk about a few disappointing performances in Minnesota sports, along with a very disappointing night of predictions from yours truly and Trevor sitting here with me here. Very, very disappointing night. I'll say that right now. And actually, you know what? Let's just get right to it. I will pull up the predictions. Shield your eyes, people. It's bad. A lot of red. Actually, it's all red, except
they
Ebby
call us
was
the
on.
they call us the Washington Wizards.
That's true. Ebby was on. He's the only one that got a point with his predictions. It's the first time Ebby's made predictions on the show. He said Cade Tyson would have over 22 points. He had 24 in the Gophers' loss. And so obviously with the Gophers losing, with all the wrong answers here, Trevor and I both did say that the Gophers would win, but now the Gophers season is done. They are done. I don't even know if they qualify for the not in tournament. Not in tournament. Yeah, we both also said the Wolves would win. That was a very far-fetched take from us, obviously.
Sure.
We don't even need to talk about our player predictions here. I do want to note my Wolves prediction. I said Baron J would play 5+ minutes, but this is the first game in like a month and a half where he gets designated back to the G League, so he wasn't even available to play. So a big fat L for me there. I guess a bad beat. Trevor had Dante over 2.5 threes made. I mean, it's not really a bad beat. Dante only had one, but it's probably the closest prediction we had. This is embarrassing, people. We get it. We will come back stronger at the end of this episode when we're predicting USA, Canada, and Wolves Warriors tonight. So, embarrassment. Both 0-2 with 0 points. Abby also went 0-2 also, but he did get the 1 point. So, there's the damage, people. There is the damage.
Abby's only, 41 points away from tying you up, Bruce.
41 points. There you go. I'm at 42. Trevor's at 28. Now, people, I don't know if for anyone that's watched for the last few weeks, Trevor's making a push here. I have been pretty stagnant around the 41, now 42 point number. Trevor got an NBA score prediction right and a hockey score prediction right the other, well, it was like 4 days ago. But either way, you've made a 10-point surge here, coming back a little bit. We'll keep monitoring this. Yeah. Wow, this night, that was your heat check. Yeah, that was your heat check.
We all got to talk about it.
First off, let's talk about this Wolves game from last night. And before we start, we had Ebby on yesterday making predictions on it. And the number one thing that we came to agreement on is the Wolves offense needs to do a little bit more moving around. They need to pass the ball quicker. They need to quit with the ISO ball. And this clip I show you, they got rid of the ISO ball in this clip. They're passing, but let me pull this up for everyone.
Too much passing now.
All right, Dante brings it up. I'm going to pause it here, but Rudy gets the ball here, and then his defender is lying his butt on the ground right here. I'm sorry if you can't see it too well, people. I'll try to, well, it doesn't even matter if I put it full screen. We'll keep our beautiful faces on the screen for you. Rudy is like, oh, perfect. I'm going to drive here. Look at this. There is no one in front of Rudy Gobert to go up and.
No, there is. There's one guy, but regardless,
no, on the side. Like, there's no one really contesting his shot.
But the point being, it doesn't even matter because Rudy's bigger than
whoever
that is.
Let's back this up a little bit. I think is that not Gary Trent, Derek Jones. It's Derek Jones.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Either way, Derek Jones is probably 2 or 3 inches still shorter, but very athletic guy. I get it. But either way, he's on the side of Rudy right here. Rudy, I don't care. I don't care who's in the corner. I don't care if Steph Curry's in the corner. You are putting the ball up right here. You need to. I mean, you need to. But then Rudy ultimately decides Anthony Edwards is in the corner, Ant is like, well, defender comes close, I'm going to drive.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ant has the highest vertical, and I know there's 4 people around him here, but he gets up there. He is right next to the rim, right next to it right here. He's literally a foot. The ball is a foot away from the rim right here. He decides ultimately to kick out in his little circus throw here. Naz Reid shoots it, and it's a brick. So I wanted to note this one possession. Let's just watch the full thing, full speed again, just to see exactly how it went. Rudy.
Not
Ant.
today.
Ant's like, oh, okay, I'm going to take it. No, I'm not. Okay.
Not today.
Naz is going to hit the 3 and brick. You know what? This could not have gone better for us tonight because this happened way too much. And people, you see the score here, 76-92. That's all you got to see. The Wolves got dominated by the Clippers. Again,
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard has had their number all year. Like 2 of these performances against the Wolves, he has 2 40-point performances against what, again, Chris Finch is calling a defensive-based team. Not as much this year, but that's always been what Chris Finch has kind of hounded on and put on the screen for people to see. But it's none of that has come to fruition this year. And now, just like we saw in the offense is a complete and utter mess right now.
Nothing's going right. My problem is Kawhi got going pretty early in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And the Wolves completely just failed to not that you're going to completely stop him from scoring, but they took them far too long. I believe it was like the final maybe 4 or 5 minutes roughly, give or take, of the third quarter when Edwards did most of it. I think Kyle Anderson was in and helped out a little bit too when Edwards wasn't defending. It was at that point, that was like the only short stretch of the game where Kawhi, like, I wouldn't even say went cold, but where he missed multiple shots in a row. Because if he missed one, he was making the next 3 or 4. However it went. Exactly. He had a hell of a game. But the Wolves were way too late of a defensive adjustment. It was literally Kawhi. Because post-trade deadline, no Harden, no Zubac.
Yeah. I mean, you got Garland back, and Garland hit a few big
that's true.
spots. But
Garland is back. But early on, when you know Kawhi was going to be a problem, not saying you're going to stop him from scoring, but you got to limit him. Limit the touches. Because one of the possessions when they did do a good job for a short period of time, that towards the end of the third quarter, there was one possession where Ant literally was denying the ball, where it was Kawhi and Ant. It wasn't even on the broadcast screen. It was 4-on-4 basketball. It got that bad. Okay. It was because Kawhi was like Kawhi was literally just sitting at the half court line, and Edwards joined him, which I don't blame him. That dude was making everything. Double teamed him. Didn't matter. He'd make it.
And here's the thing to go along with it. I don't even mind throwing a double team on him. If someone's killing you that bad, look at the rest of their lineup. Garland's a threat on offense, but Derek Jones is not a good shooter at any space. He's just athletic. He can get, very limited. He can get to the rim and he's athletic. But then Chris Dunn averages 6 points a game, 7.
He's all defense.
There's no threat there. Brook Lopez, big veteran. He's been in the year, and I get he can shoot the 3 ball now
a little bit,
but it's not a threat by any means.
For Brook Lopez, it's kind of how you treat Jokic, right? Give him the first 2 or 3 looks. If he makes it, you'll adjust. If he's not making it, continue to fake off.
Exactly. But throw a double team, throw Jaden and Ant on Kawhi. And if they do that, they win the game because they stuck with it. Most of the game, they kept it within 8 to 10 points most of the third quarter, kind of. But the thing that surprised me most is I didn't get to watch the first half, but I turned it on in the third quarter, and I didn't know Kawhi was having this type of a game. In the third quarter, it showed his points and his stats throughout the whole thing. He had like 35 in the third. I'm like,
it was annoying.
What? I had no idea, and that was just flabbergasting right there.
Not 30. It couldn't have been 30. You're saying points?
In the third quarter, he had 30, like 32, I think it said.
Okay.
When I turned it on in the third quarter, Yeah.
Oh,
was
for
insane.
total points scored, you're saying at that
Yeah,
point in the
yeah,
third. I
that
thought you were
point.
saying he scored 30 points. I'm like, no, something's not adding up. Yeah, yeah.
No,
So
he
I think he
scored
ended with
45.
45.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you were saying in the third quarter he scored that much. I was trying to figure out what you were. Yeah, I got you now.
So
What was
all
the
in
other?
all, Wolves lose another terrible game,
Yeah.
and now
One last thing too is
yeah.
with how bad we're playing. What happened to McDaniels? Like McDaniels early in the year, or halfway point. It's been a while since McDaniels has like. So Ants obviously are going to be your number one. That's never going to change. But unless Randall's on, but it's a lot of times, or not even if Randall's on, like unless Randall is showing out that he's going to have a good game, you need
Yeah, but
to
that's not common. No.
right. So why are we? It's like we're treating McDaniels where we just stash him in the 3 and then play D. No, you got to give him his touches. He had that one stretch. I forget how long we're talking because with just wild games and Twins are back in action again, and it's hard to keep track of all of it. But there was a point where McDaniels was thriving in our
Well,
offense.
it was the start of the year.
Secondary, yeah.
Let me.
Okay.
I'm going to do this very quickly because we got to keep it short.
Yeah.
But listen to these point totals throughout like the first 15, 20 games. He didn't dip below 10 points. First game of the year going on 18, 10, 11, 25, 30, 14, 22, 13, 22, 21, 16, 13, 15, 15, 13. So basically 20 games into the season, he had his first single digit performance. And now he's had 4 in a row. Well, actually, he had 11 last night, but I don't count it because it's a blowout loss. And he's just been so inconsistent. But just like Trevor said, they're stashing him in the corner.
Too. Well, that was the other thing.
The turnovers have been
so
bad.
it was beyond stupidity. I had in my head, like when I was watching live, I think we had 8 turnovers first quarter alone. Or not, maybe not even full first quarter. It was like the first 8 minutes. So the first 8 minutes with like 4 minutes left, roughly around there. I think we had 8 turnovers. Like, are you kidding me? That just beyond stupid.
Yeah. So now the Wolves are in the 6th spot and are half a game away from playing in the play-in tournament to get into the playoffs. Absolutely embarrassing for how this team should be. They should be in a 3rd spot, undoubtedly. I mean, this West is good, obviously, but embarrassing beyond everything. I did send a video to Ebby and Trevor last night during the game of Randall, possession of Randall, and Randall. I think it's Darius Garland who he dribbles through 4 guys, and then Randall's like turning around slowly, and then like Randall dishes it like to a cutting Derek Jones or something, and Randall just hugs Garland instead of trying to make a play on an obvious pass that went right past his head. He's like,
it's bad.
It's so bad, but we got to move on before we get too in depth. The big news from today, though, Kyler Murray, 1.3 league minimum contract, signs with the Vikings. How we feeling? I mean, we knew it was coming, but any immediate thoughts with it?
Hate it. Just absolutely hate it. You signed him only for the minimum. No, all jokes aside, only thing Bruce and I don't like about this is you're just slowing the development, or I take that back. That's not the right way to phrase it. The physical reps, right? You're not.
Yeah.
That's the only downfall, but it's minimal downfall. Kyler Murray and his experience, his playmaking, the offensive playmakers he's got, being coached by McCown and KOC. You got 1 year. We keep mentioning that, but you gotta stress it. Probably 1 year left of Brian Flores, like that'll carry the defense.
Yep.
So Kyler won't be able to do much. There's really no negatives to this. And worst comes to, I won't even say worst comes to worst. Just if it doesn't somehow, for some reason, not counting injury, if Kyler for whatever reason just struggles, which I can't fathom.
Yeah.
But if even if that happens, you sign Kyler for 1.3. Cool, I guess then you can keep giving reps
It
for
doesn't
McCarthy.
even matter.
But no,
Yeah.
I think this will be a problem. So unless injuries riddle this team, like in general, as long as Kyler can stay healthy, it's you can do kind of whatever you want when you want, as long as KOC can get more realistic 3rd down play calling. And then the other thing with that is third down play calling. If anything, this makes it easier, right? So teams now have to completely respect. So prior to Kyler Murray, with McCarthy, with Darnold, with Kirk, you could double when it's obvious passing downs on second and line, and especially on third down passing downs. What are teams going to do? You're going to bracket. Either you're going to bracket Jefferson, you're going to double him. Otherwise, you're going to take him away. That's normal. Anyone's going to do that, whether it's Jefferson, Chase, CeeDee Lamb. You get the point. But if you want to double him, that's one extra defender that's not accounting for Kyler's scramble. So there's that twist to it too. We haven't had a true dual threat guy that is an above average scrambler. We've had quarterbacks that could scramble, like McCarthy a little bit. Darnold could do it a little bit. Kirk, if you gave him enough space, but really not Kirk. But now that Kyler can really scramble and pick up 20, 25, 30 yards of, like, if a team sends an all-out blitz and we block it up, or not even block it up, but if Kyler can avoid, like, if it's more blitzers,
the linebacker coming through the
A-back, and all the corners are playing man coverage, and the safeties and all their heads are turned back, and Kyler can break that for
30 yards. Yeah.
So yeah, no, I love everything about it. Middle of the field throwing, he's
I was going to cover that real quick.
Slightly above average, wasn't it, like 12? Unless I'm mixing
he's been. We went over this like a week ago. He's been, for the past. There was only 1 year in his career where he wasn't top 8 in middle of the field throwing. The dude is accurate. He can step up in the pocket, and he delivers the ball right where KOC wants it in his offensive scheme. So it works out honestly perfectly. Yeah.
And then to kind of spin off, whatever you want to call it. So unless I haven't seen it yet, I believe Christian Kirk is still a free agent. They spent time together in Arizona, so there's that connection. As we've mentioned before, the Rams connection of KOC and what's his name? Tutu Atwell. Came to me as you were saying it. So you got Atwell, but I would monitor the Christian Kirk. And then I think there was one other connection that
Kirk will be cheaper than Atwell. He'll be really cheap on the market.
But yeah, no, I love everything to do with Kyler. And then
there's literally not a negative with it, except you're limiting 1 year of JJ. That's the only negative if people want to.
And I really don't care about that because Jordan Love didn't start till year 4. Right? So McCarthy's sad, Jordan Love sad. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't even think the Vikings are really giving up on McCarthy. I think they're just trying to maximize the team's fullest of potentials, right? Because Flores should be a head coach. If he goes another offseason without getting a head coaching job, we're going to have another lawsuit 2.0. But yeah, it's just for all the reasons. You've got the playmakers. You got to capitalize. While Jefferson's in the center of his prime.
Yeah.
The O-line's good. Center is a big question mark. That's really the only concern on the offense. And it may not even be a major concern, right? If they just want to move Blake Randall, at least for this year, as a true center.
Which he stepped in and was good.
Well, yeah, he did fine. My worry, though, is O-linemen always get hurt. Then you lose your best backup swing guard and tackle.
That is exactly why I pushed for a center in free agency. That's why, is because you lose. Brandle's good in the swing role that he's done. He's stepped in and played very well because there will be injuries.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see a Cade Mays because Cade Mays was only $8 million signed by
there's
Bears. I forget. Or Lions.
There's
signed him.
A few decent options left, right?
I think so.
Or have we? Yeah. So I think there's still time. So I think between center and wide receiver 3, honestly, I don't think we're going to do much in free agency for defensive side, as in spending more than just a depth. You'll get your depth guys, but I don't really think. I think a lot of the money that we've cleared up and all that is going to be focused for cap space rollover for the 2027 team, just with all those restructures. And then if the whole thing Kyler plays well, obviously he'll go and get his deal with whatever team that will be. Cough, Rams are my early favorite. That's assuming Stafford retires. Kyler gets to play with McVay. How could you say no to that? But yeah, so assuming, all goes well, Kyler gets his new deal with new team. You roll with McCarthy. Hopefully that goes well. And if that does, you then have to account for the long-term deal for McCarthy too. A lot of what ifs.
And to do with the long-term thing, the one thing I'll say that makes me a bit sad about it, or I guess upset in a way, is I would have loved to see JJ play this year, because this year could be a very, very big breaking point if he did start the whole year. With the meaning of the next year's draft is quarterback loaded. There's going to be so many quarterbacks in that draft. So if JJ were to start this year and he didn't, and he looked the same as he did most of this year before KOC had to simplify the whole playbook, if he looked that same way, the Vikings would have needed to go into the draft, and they would have. So now you kind of have to, and here's the thing, I still have all the faith in him. Like, go back to this fact. I just saw this again today because I looked it up because I knew we'd be talking about it. JJ McCarthy was hit on 51.3% of pressures behind an O-line that ranked 30th in pressure rates allowed. So he was getting bounced around all year, mostly. Right. And people will say, yeah, the offensive line sucks. No, it doesn't. You had Christian Darrisaw playing half games and leaving in the third quarter. Will Fries, he had a below average year, but Ryan Kelly out for 80% of the year. Even Jackson was out for like 4 games in the start of the year when JJ was kind of healthy there. But either way, very messed up offensive line. Hopefully it can be healthier next year. But JJ was getting bullied by defensive lines this year. Just absolutely bullied. You need more Josh Olivers in there. Right. Either way, that's my one worry, is that I would have liked to see it this year. That way you kind of know. But you cannot. No one can be mad about this. It's the perfect move. You have Brian Flores. You have Justin Jefferson. That's all you need to know. Plus, you get many other
quarterback
weapons.
Where you probably, most people are going to rank Kyler probably between 8 and 15, roughly. If you take every team's 32 starting quarterbacks, it's probably in that range, and you get him at $1.3 million. I think if the Vikings had given zero interest and not given him an offer,
I would have been so mad.
And there's KOC would really have to be considered getting fired. There's no reason you can't consider that. You can argue scheme fit. There's question marks, but when you're as oh my gosh, I can't talk, as athletic as Kyler Murray is, and he's right in the start of his prime. Obviously, injuries are the one thing he's battled with, but because he's 28, right? 27,
well,
28,
the dude
29.
Could go back to baseball right now and probably play in the major leagues. The A's said they'd take him back with open arms.
But
which is funny.
I kind of forgot where I was going there, but back to the McCarthy thing and how that is really the only one downfall is you miss those in game reps. Now, not super great comparison, but Ohio State is up there with your Georgias and Alabama's still good, but they're not Saban good. But the point being, Ohio State year in year out is producing absolute animals, freaks that have great NFL careers, superstar players in the NFL. McCarthy, I looked it up. I knew this. We all knew this. He went 3-0 against Ohio State in the 3 years, 2021, 22, 23. But then in season stats, you can argue a little bit. A lot of it was also carried by the run, but still, you're still going up against best of the best players at Ohio State. So within that 3-0 record, passing, he went 29 of 45, so 64% completion percentage. He threw for 442 and 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He also had 12 carries for 60 yards, averaging 12 yards a carry with a touchdown.
He dominated them for most
but not even Ohio State, big picture. I mean, national champion. It's not this is gonna sound like a riff on Willis or whatever, but he played at Liberty. Okay, good career and all that, and there was the early struggles. Now part of it, he didn't have a great team surrounding him. Super young quarterback, but there's no fluke. You're not as successful. You don't just get lucky winning all those games in the Big Ten. You don't get lucky just beating Ohio State all 3 times you play them.
You don't get
You don't
lucky
just
winning a
get
national championship.
semifinal national championship. So the winning DNA is there. There's a lot of downs, but there's a lot of ups. It's just getting more consistent. Love the Detroit game in Detroit. You went in there.
Mm-hmm.
Was that it was like a three
Week
touchdown
9, yeah,
game, I think.
3 touchdowns,
Uh,
the phenomenal pass back shoulder to Naylor to
Everything was
end
in
it.
rhythm. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the Baltimore game for the most part that went well. So the
2
Bears
horrible
comeback
play
game.
calls there.
Now
Yeah.
you can argue it was seven bad quarters against the Bears, where the one was the week 1 fourth quarter
Mm-hmm.
comeback.
But he did lead game-winning drives in both, and then he won 5 games to end the year.
The week 1 Bears game, no Addison
Mm-hmm.
was suspension, so I don't know. I'm just excited to see how these next 2 years will go. Because with Kyler, if we don't make playoffs, I'm going to be utterly shocked.
Now,
Just given third place
Brzezinski,
schedule.
he's done so good this offseason with clearing money and everything. And he still is. He's trying to get Grenard out, and Grenard probably will be traded. But the one thing I've disagreed with him right now is now you got Kyler Murray now, and it was kind of confirmed. I mean, they had him scheduled to come here like 2 days before he was actually going to be released. So they kind of knew that was the plan. Why do you retain Aaron Jones? I love Aaron Jones. He's a great locker room guy, but there's so many running backs in the draft. You just need to reset there.
I have a little bit on this.
And what I want Grenard, our first round pick, and I don't even care if the Commanders ask for a second round pick. You have Brian Flores. You have everything you need. You have a quarterback that in this system can be elevated to a top 10, top 8 quarterback. Undoubtedly. You have everything you need for this team. Trade Grenard at the first and a second round pick. Get the house on Jeremiah Love. Boom. Kyler Murray with Jeremiah Love, with Justin Jefferson, with TJ Hawkinson, with Jordan Addison. Insanity that offense would be, plus an above average offensive line. That's the one thing that it's just, I would have traded future assets for it. I do not care what the Commanders asked for. Like,
yeah, a couple things. I completely agree with all that. I think the only thing it'd be like if you're offering Grenard pick 18, and if you really try swinging the offer, even that second, like have a hard time believing the Commanders like wouldn't take that offer or whatever team you're offering with. So like one thought I have is, are the teams not willing for whatever reason to drop down to 18 second round pick Grenard, whatever the case may be? So like obviously in a trade it takes 2 to tango. So maybe the Vikings are willing. Maybe a team with that pick though isn't willing. I don't think that's the case. Another thought I've had with the whole keeping Aaron Jones thing, you do save $5 million.
Oh yeah.
Now we weren't going to get Kenneth Walker. We weren't probably going to get Rico Dowdle, and then we weren't going to get who is the other big running back that signed, unless it was. I know. Gainwell, but I'm not thinking Gainwell. Point being, I can't think.
I mean Travis Etienne.
Running back. Yeah, Etienne. So Etienne, Kenneth Walker, and anyways, point being, I just don't think they wanted to risk not being able to get any of those guys signed, and then you like really fall off to like mid tier guys. So I think with Aaron Jones, you get the pass catching ability on third down, but more like big time thing I like is like when it's say 3rd and 8 and longer, whether you get held back because of two not great first downs or first and second down
incomplete pass and a 2-yard run.
Whatever the case may be. So 3rd and 8 and long. Now that CJ Hammond's retired, who was like our common third down blocking running back, quote unquote. Now Aaron Jones can fill that role, because I know Jones does a pretty solid job pass blocking. Yep. Jordan Mason not as good as Aaron Jones.
Not good at it.
So I think between pass blocking downs, just to give the court on like more, if we're calling a deeper developing play for our receivers. Yeah, so blocking, receiving ability on more third and manageable, where Jones can beat most linebackers in coverage, or safeties. and then you account for the $5 million cap hit. So I wasn't super thrilled with the whole Aaron Jones keeping him either, because I just wanted a good speed burner to complement Mason being the more power back.
Yeah.
But
And
given those
yeah,
reasons, that's why I can kind of tolerate it. But yeah,
I
I'm
completely
kind of
agree with
torn.
what you said. Just the biggest drive talked about all offseason is this doesn't sway Kevin O'Connell to actually run the ball. He's done it. He's had these guys, these types of this type of running back
Yeah.
room for the past 3 years. He just never runs it in these situations. I mean, even at the end of the year, he didn't run the ball at a clip that any of us would have liked. It's just the reason why the offense flowed better is because the passing game was generated more on the outside on these out routes, and JJ made those throws because he couldn't complete them over the middle of the field. But he still wouldn't run the ball as much as we hoped for in those last 5 games. The offense did well, but we need to. That's why I've just been pounding the table. And you never know. Maybe they still do draft a guy. It is Aaron Jones for 1 more year. So there's always a chance you bring in an Emmett Johnson, maybe a Nick Singleton in the
I do
draft.
think that'll happen too. I do
Yeah,
think we address that come like 3rd
for
round,
sure.
4th round.
But I think we could both agree now this like Jeremiah Love fantasy dream, I think that's very far out the window. But an Emmett
Yeah.
Johnson seems very logical at this point. But I would have done anything to get Love just because that guy, he's the guy that he's going to flip KOC to run the ball 55, 60% of the time in this offense. But what you're saying is true. And Aaron, he's a great locker room guy too, along with
That too.
on
Yeah.
the field and the
Right.
pass blocking and everything with it. But there you go, people. There's our Kyler thoughts. There's our whole team thoughts, how it affects the team. We're going to have a lot more thoughts on it. So stick with Twin City Sports Talk in the next week or so. We're going to move on here. Next little topic. We won't spend a lot of time on it, but Joe Ryan is coming back to the WBC. He is, well, that is if
Assuming.
the U.S. beats Canada in this quarterfinal matchup. But he's replacing Clayton Kershaw. And you know what this means, people? Joe Ryan will be slated to start or pitch in the championship game. If
I think if you can beat Canada, and then it would be tough. I forget how the bracket goes. Regardless,
Yeah.
whatever country it is that you'd get in the semifinals, big test whoever it is. But then the counter argument is you get Skeens pitching that game. So if Logan Webb could just do a solid 4 or 5 innings against Canada, which I have full faith he can.
Yep.
Because no knock on Canada, they're a solid team, but they're not Cuba, they're not Puerto Rico,
Well, they have Eddie Julian.
they're not Japan. Yeah, they have Eddie Julian.
Now that Eddie's off the team, I can make fun of him like hardcore. They have Eddie Julian, therefore the U.S. wins.
But yeah, so assuming, USA takes care of damage, assuming Harper's in the lineup and not Goldschmidt, no knock on Goldschmidt, but why Harper wasn't playing over Goldschmidt, or why there's one other guy that was starting over another player. Can't think
I didn't
of
get
it.
to watch the game, so I wouldn't know.
But regardless, just put your best lineup out there, US.
Yeah, it's like a total of 7 games you're playing.
I don't care if you got to win by 1 run. You should win by Canada. Not that it's going to be a cakewalk or anything, but you should be able to take care of business. Just do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I pray that we're not going to jinx it, and we just win because gosh, that'll be fun watching Skeens pitch against whoever that semifinal matchup would be. And then as a Twins fan, a little biased and all, it'll be kind of cool seeing Joe Ryan.
It's just like the USA hockey game with Hughes and Boldy leading the charge there, and Boldy scores the goal. It's literally the same thing there. Very quickly, Wild played tonight. That was another tough loss to the Flyers in a shootout. What is wrong with the Wild's shootout? We're not going to talk about the full game. We watched it, but we just don't have the time right now. But shootout, just talking about the shootout, Kirill Kaprizov. I don't even know how to explain this anymore. Tonight he went with a little backhand shovel, tried to get it over the shoulder with the backhand. He just missed the net completely, I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Zuccarello was very close.
Yeah,
The goalie
Zuccarello.
barely got
So
a
the
pass.
last
And
two
Boldy.
shootouts. Yeah. Well,
Boldy was very
Zuccarello.
close, too.
Both times Colorado, and then
Mhm.
the and then this
Well,
shootout.
Colorado,
It's
the puck just rolled on him.
no, I know,
This
but what
one,
I'm
the
saying is
pad.
the Deke does
Yeah.
enough
Yes.
when Zuccarello
Okay.
just needed to
Yeah.
lift it a tad more. He
Mhm.
each time the move worked, got the goalie,
Mhm.
out of position, and then
Just
it's
got to get it
just
more technically sound, basically. Just got to
yeah,
hone it in. But Boldy's was about an inch
yeah,
on the pad tonight from going in, and that would have won the game
yeah.
there.
He's easily been our
Or,
best.
well,
It's not even.
oh,
Well, that would
Boldy
have.
by far is the best shootout. No, it would have tied it because they scored on their third.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But Kirill, we just did this last episode. The NHL average is about 34%, I think. Kirill right now is sitting at like a 24. Highest paid player in NHL history, by the way. Kirill, I need to see more from you. I get you don't do this in the playoffs, but just in these last like 5 days, you've lost out on 2 points, which you desperately need against to catch up on the Stars, which the Stars, they just blew out Connor McDavid tonight again. So the Stars are just
Edmonton's a joke. No
they,
wonder
they are.
McDavid. It becomes more and more every game that goes by. It makes more and more sense why McDavid signed for only 2 years. He is
Well,
trying to carry that franchise, and he's done all he can. You know,
yeah.
why can't Edmonton identify or develop a goalie? Why can't they develop a? Now, you can argue the whole salary cap thing, but
Yep.
when you have talent that good, yeah, you're gonna pay Draisaitl, yeah, you're gonna pay McDavid. Shame on the GM and the coaching and all that for not putting together a more complete team or whatever. Especially
Exactly.
goaltending and defensemen, like it's a joke. But real
Yeah.
quick
When
for the
I
Wild, first
yeah.
period too, also just unacceptable. 2 shots
Yeah.
against the Philadelphia team, really,
Which
2
Philadelphia is
shots.
they're fighting
They're
for a playoff
competitive,
spot, I
but
guess, but
they were
it's
sellers at
yeah,
the deadline. So
exactly.
it's it's funny too. So with I'm like, oh, that's weird. Yurchek's not playing. Look it up. They traded Yurchek, and I get it. They're buying in on the future,
Mm-hmm.
doing what the Wild whole goal with
Thought they could
Yurchek.
do.
But
Yeah.
the Wild, now that we're in really championship window, we had to sell him off. Which the fact that I still can't believe that it was Philly
Mm-hmm.
was willing to do Bobby Brink for Yurchek. Like if I was Philly, you would think you would want Yurchek in at least like a mid pick,
Mm-hmm.
given that Yurchek hasn't shown that. I mean, I guess too many teams when it comes to drafts, bust in any sport when they're still fairly young. I think they just get tied up with, well, this guy went 3rd overall, this guy went 6th overall, this guy went 8th overall. It's
Yeah.
just too much in their head, and they're not doing the eye test as much. But no, first period, 2 shots. It was super disappointing. Second and third was better.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, penalties
Disappointing as a
too.
whole.
And
But
then
yeah.
penalties too.
Now we are just 4 points behind Dallas. Just Dallas is slowly just piece
And
by piece getting a bigger
and
lead, and they're
and
chasing down the Avs now.
if I
5
remember
points.
correctly, they also one less game played, right? So when you even that up,
Yeah.
say
Yep.
they win again, that only makes it worse. So
Yeah. I mean, the Stars are starting to pull away a little bit.
yeah,
They're chasing down the Avs. They're only 4 or 5 points behind them. But yeah, there's our little Wild talk. We'll talk more about that soon. Let's shoot our predictions for the 2 games today. Wolves in Golden State to play the Warriors after 2 horrible losses.
you want me to go?
And yeah, shoot your Wolves prediction.
All right. It's kind of annoying, right? Because Wolves have been sucking like no other. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at the Warriors injury report. I know Curry's out for sure, and I think Moses Moody was as well. And I think it was 2 other guys that are questionable. But just given that Curry is out, no Jimmy Butler,
And they've
there's
no
absolute
bench. They've no one.
Wolves are healthy, knock on wood.
Mm-hmm.
So healthy Wolves team, the team that we have is good when they play to their potential. Warriors injured.
Yeah,
They're not what
Moody's
they
out
used to
for this
be.
game.
I gotta say we're gonna win. I'm not confident we'll win, but
You would hope.
I don't know how I can bet against it when it's our healthy team versus down. Anyways, you get the point.
Mhm.
Wolves are going to win. I am going to say it's close because I don't expect them until they can show they can have a good win. I'm not going to have an easy win. I'm going to go 114 to 112. And then my prediction, this is maybe my favorite prediction I've had for any game in any sport. Draymond Green with a technical foul.
Just for that, I mean, it's still very unlikely. I think you should get 2 points if you get that one. If you get that one right.
Wow, now I'm going to capitalize the G in Green. He's not important, eh?
No, I'm too tired to do that. Recording late at night, people. My Wolves prediction, just like Trevor said, you can't bet against a team when Steph Curry is not playing. I got Wolves winning, as much as I don't want to say that. 117 to 110. And as for my player prediction, I'm going on the Warriors side of the ball. Curry's out. Pat Spencer is so fun to watch. Pat Spencer, he's just so active. I'm going to say this. I think he'll have one or more steals because he averages one a game. He'll have 1+ steals. That doesn't make sense what I just wrote. I'll just say he has 1 steal, 1+, like +1. Gosh.
Do the half point thing. The half, over a half steal. So we all have a steal.
Pat Spencer over 0.5 steals. And he will also have at least 8 points, which he averages 6. So,
cool.
Boom, Pat Spencer prediction. Who guessed that?
He did have 17 in this last game, but then
I know,
0.
Yeah,
no, I'm cool with yours, but it's funny. 0, a 0-point game in 12 minutes. Okay, I guess he didn't play 30, so that helps a little bit. But yeah, it goes from 0 points to 17.
All right. As for my USA prediction, I'll go first here. USA better win this game. They better, and I think after losing and having to rely on Italy to
kick in.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win 7-2. Pretty convincing win. I think they'll get a lead early. In fact, I'm gonna say USA. This is an interesting one. USA will have a home run in first 2 innings.
You want to pick a player? Because that's what I'm doing. I picked a specific player for a homer. Spice it up.
I'm going. Well, okay. I can do it off the record, and I'll say.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just going USA have a home run in the first 2 innings.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, your prediction.
All right, I'm gonna go USA wins 5-1.
Okay.
And I'm going with a Harper homer.
Oh, all right. After getting sat.
I think that's the whole DeRosa resting his guys because the USA is in debacle. Actually, let me pull up that lineup real quick because it's bothering me. Yeah, because Goldschmidt over Harper. Like I said, nothing against Goldschmidt, but it's Bryce Harper. I don't know why he's not starting over Goldschmidt in that game. And then
I don't think Buck played that game, did he?
No, he didn't either. But then again, it's Buck has.
I'm not upset about that
been
one.
Bad, and Pete Crow's been playing well. So as a Twins fan, it sucks. But as just a normal baseball, you just got to roll with the guy playing better.
It was Schwarber, Judge. It was Gunnar Henderson. I forget who.
What game was this? Wednesday, right?
Italy.
Did I really? Yeah. No, I know, but it was Wednesday, right?
No, this was Tuesday because Wednesday. No, oh my gosh, I think it was Wednesday. I am so confused.
It's Tuesday.
It was Tuesday because Wednesday we were begging for Italy to win.
I find the box score. I hate that all the spring training games aren't here. Oh, I should probably click Classic. That'd probably be easier.
That would most likely be easier, yeah. If you clicked the World Baseball Classic tab.
Yeah, there we go. Last score to go through. All right, yeah. So our lineup was Witt, makes sense. Henderson at third. Has Henderson been our third baseman every game?
Yes, Witt's always been short. They're not moving Witt from short. Yep.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because I know what Judge, obviously, Schwarber, Will Smith. Oh, maybe. Well, I guess Cal Raleigh, you could argue maybe over Will Smith. But Will Smith, I'm okay with. Anthony Goldschmidt. Second bait. Okay, maybe it was just Goldschmidt because
No, there wasn't any other big ones.
Yeah. The fact that Goldschmidt over Harper, because I guess
the only one you could maybe argue is Cal Raleigh, of course, because he just hit
right.
like
But I'm okay with
55 bombs.
But Goldschmidt over Harper is an absolute joke.
Yeah. I mean, the dude's like 39 now. Either way, there's our predictions, people. Good luck to Trevor and I. I just checked on our Instagram. We have hit 300 submissions for our Twins ticket giveaway for opening day. Tickets right behind the Twins dugout. Register to win those. We are selecting on March 27th.
So March 27th.
That's when we're announcing that. Choosing. We're going to spin a wheel. Whoever wins, it's your lucky day. All right, people. Love the sport on YouTube. Keep it up. So go subscribe, follow the Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. And we will see you again tomorrow.